Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Dan.
We're in Awatenejo. We are not.
Say Watanehu.
Say Watenejo.
Say it right.
Yeah. Didn't yeah, and then before we started this clip, you said that you tried
I
to go.
tried to go there. Yes, so I found it, and I was like, "Oh, this place looks amazing," and it is. But I think that it takes a bit to get there.
Let me see.
You know.
Let me see how fat we look.
I know.
It's all right.
I can't tell.
It's not that bad.
It's an interesting angle. That's a little bit better. Maybe not so high up. Like we're tourists in Times Square.
Hi. Hold your purse. Hold
tight.
Hold your
it
purse.
tight.
All right. Look. Here's this segment is called The Truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. You know why?
Why?
Because I think that no matter what I say, nobody will ever believe anything I say. So what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Might as well just tell the truth. Here's the truth. The truth is, I was extremely sick
So sick.
over the last year and a half,
Yeah.
last 15 months.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm going to show you is how it all started. It all started, I tout myself as an applied mathematician,
You do.
someone who loves,
Little bug.
yeah, that loves movies. And I saw a movie, it was called The Fall Guy. And I saw Ryan Gosling, who's so hot right now. And Ryan
always
Gosling,
hot.
because of this movie, he did such a good job. He got Ghost Rider. And I want everyone to understand that I'm not looking for affirmation anymore. As a matter of fact, I fully understand that most people just laugh at me and believe that I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But one thing I want everyone to understand is that for 24 years, I was with my wife, and I was the same exact person. Very eccentric, over the top, hard to believe, and all that stuff. And she loved me very much, and I loved her. And one thing you must understand is that the reason why I was in so much pain is not something that I was really prepared to say before, but I'll say it now. You see, when a human being, in my personal opinion, is suffering from either depression, pain, or even if what my wife claimed to be true, that I had some phantom drug addiction, which I did not. It is not abnormal to seek help for that person. So for example, after a quarter of a century of being with my wife and her family, one would think that if I was suffering from a serious mental illness, they would want to help me.
Yeah.
But instead, what they did was they said that this guy is crazy and we're going to take everything he has and leave him homeless and for dead.
Yep. 100%.
And
And they
did. And that is what caused me to have a full mental breakdown. And I was totally capable of handling my children. As a matter of fact, had my children been in my life, none of this would have
No.
happened. This was a direct cause of, and the truth, as I say, is a big part of me still loves Mallory and always will. And that's why it hurt so much, is because I would never do anything like this to her.
No.
And it fucking hurts so much to even talk about it, because I cared so much about her. And I want everyone to understand that I don't get a chance to have a private life. I am a human being who people tell me who I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah.
Like, people tell me that I am in a relationship, or I was in a relationship with Jamie, even though it's not true.
People tell you a lot.
People
of things.
tell me these things as if they are the ones that are living my life for me.
Yes.
And like, it's really not only disturbing, it speaks volumes as to how perverted, perverse, and inappropriate our community is, our society.
I'm just really disappointed in the fact that everyone was okay with watching how bad it was. If anyone
See, I want
really
to pause.
cared.
I'm done with that. You see,
really-
sometimes Jamie, what she does
does. It
is
makes
she
me
brings,
upset.
yeah, but you sometimes fuel the fire. And I'll tell you something. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to leave it all behind.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Good.
I realize that, like, I would do anything for my boys.
Yeah.
For my son Pierce, I would go to dinner with Mel. Not alone with the boys, obviously, but I would do anything for them. I would.
Yeah, I know.
And what you're watching is a man who took 2 to the chest, got out of the hospital, and said, "Hey, how's everyone doing?"
It's true. You did. I think 2 to the back too. But yeah. And you're here.
Yeah.
And you're here.
And
you're
the thing is,
standing.
maybe I got a little emotional, but the truth is, when I was a little boy, I went through horrible pain when my parents separated, and they weren't even that nice to
Yeah.
me. I would do anything for my children to be happy.
Yeah, you would. You would.
You could
That is
fucking
always
shoot me in the head if I'm alive.
the message that repeats
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, I would do anything.
Every day.
I don't care about any of these conflicts. Nothing matters to me except them.
Yeah. It's true. They're the most
I
important.
was in so much pain I couldn't even walk.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
but the thing is, I'm back. It's a very, the only time I cried, it's here. Look, my bags are gone, and I feel amazing.
I know. You have a spring in your step again.
And look, there is a lot of truth in the fact that a lot of my enemies should be scared, because I have a massive real estate portfolio. You guys have lost your fucking minds. The things that were stolen from me, I had $15-20 million of my personal shit stolen by Moishe. What the fuck's his name? Moishe Cohen. Yeah, Moishe Cohen. It's a Hasidic dude. I'm Jewish. This guy's Jewish. The audacity of these men to work with a criminal like Jim Salakian.
I know.
And
Do it.
I have a couple of punk-ass judgments that are based on fraud. You know? A human being who's a victim of fraud doesn't need to worry.
How does it feel to wake up from the dead?
That's a good question. I'll tell you something. It feels surreal. It feels very, very strange. I think that if you look at my face, you'll notice that even my eyebrow has been lowered. And if anyone can't understand that that's physically impossible to have done or replicated or faked, I don't know what to tell you.
No,
I don't know what to tell you.
Not possible.
Man, you know,
I know, it really went.
I wish I
down.
didn't. Everything was awesome until I cried. But the truth is, I look and I can't comprehend the mental state of the people that have caused the pain. Because look, even if, let's presuppose that every single lie that was told about me is true. Let's say that you and I had some relations. At this point, I think everyone understands that I've been destroyed as a human being. And
Destroyed.
I'm in a point of recovery.
Yeah.
And I think that you could laugh at me all you want. But the truth is, I built a multi-million-dollar house. I built a at the end of the day, it's about an $80 million estate. All of that was destroyed by not only my enemies, but my wife and her family just jumped on board, and for no reason whatsoever helped my enemies.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to fight any of my legal battles in over a year since I've been kicked out of my own home. And the craziest part is, at the same time as my wife is telling my kids that I ran out of the house and I'm not coming home voluntarily and I'm with you, she's going to the court and saying that he's not allowed near the kids, he's not allowed near the home, he's dangerous. It's all lies.
I know. It is. It's really horrible to be the person that's being alienated against, like knowing that
it's horrible.
It's
a
not
nightmare.
True.
It's
like,
a fucking
I want
nightmare.
to speak to my kids. I want
It's
to
a
see
nightmare.
the kids.
It's an
I want to
absolute
be with them.
nightmare.
Anything that
It's a
they hear
nightmare,
otherwise
and
is a
people
lie.
who are responsible for it should go to prison. And I don't know how to say this in a nice way. And even though I'm saying to you, I'm much better. Thank God. I almost died. I felt like I was literally dying. I don't think anyone understands the pain that a human who loves their children goes through when their children are taken from them. Look in the camera and say
I'm like, well,
the truth about how much pain you were in. You had 3 children come out of your body, and then they were taken away from you. And you have punk ass like Allison, what's her last name?
Annapole.
It's her last name, Annapole, right? It's fucking horrible mom
Well, it's
who took you
that's
off
just,
a text chain and added Jared Resnick.
Well, it's because there are people in this town
that's a mom.
whose goals.
She gave
but
birth.
Don't forget,
She gave
her
birth to
goals
kids.
is to get in favor of the Danielle Freeman. Like her whole purpose has been like whenever I met her, her conversations were always about that. So for her to have an opportunity to hurt me,
the common
she
interest.
would obviously take
this
it.
woman, Danielle Freeman, she owns SLT
No,
Studio.
that's her sister.
That's her sister?
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you something.
But
the
it's
fact
just like,
that the commonality, look in the camera.
It's not, it's unbelievable to me that there's a woman who feels like she wants to cut another mom by removing her and deciding that she's not worthy of being on, like, you know, this group chat.
A court order.
And then you're going to add
exist.
the man who is hurting this woman, who took her children away, who is now making sure that she's homeless, making sure that I can't work, making sure I can't see my children, continually going after me in court to have me pay him money when I'm homeless.
If anyone's wondering, Jared Resnick is going after Jamie for money. And
I'm homeless right now. Like, I literally am unhoused, you know?
We're not married. We're not in a relationship.
So, like, it's the fact that it's just, like, continuing, and it hasn't been like, all right, well, I have the kids. Like, I won, you know? Like, I got what I wanted. What else do you want other than the children? The children are the most important
I don't understand
thing.
how somebody like that can get full custody when you did absolutely nothing wrong. What was the reason? What did you do wrong? What was the reason the judge gave Jared Resnick full custody?
Because of my job.
Because of your job?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Because working for you and not
that's not
succumbing to like what he wanted me to do.
That's
like
insane.
Following his rules.
That's insane.
Yes.
This is your ex-husband. You're not even married.
No.
What did he write to the court that was a lie?
That I'm unstable, that I'm not a good mother.
These are lies that are perpetrated to the court.
I didn't raise the kids by myself.
And everyone in
years.
Livingston, New Jersey is totally okay with a lawyer that lied to have his children be in his full custody after not giving birth to them and doing absolutely nothing.
And
except providing a paycheck.
That is not in the best interest of the children. That is not in the best interest of the children is to have two parents.
Well, there was no. Well, hold on a second. There's something
present.
called a custody hearing. Did you ever have a custody hearing?
No, because I signed that MSA because I was so stressed out from how long the divorce had been taking and how much money.
And this is done by Jamie Berger.
And how much stress I was under, and I
it was a setup.
I just needed to settle because I was so upset, and I just wanted to be like free.
Exactly what happened.
And like when your freedom is hung in front of you, you're gonna take it. It's true. Like, I grabbed at that because I was like, this means I'm free. And like, all I wanted was to be free. So like, I would have done anything. I would have signed anything.
And the fact that Jared did this with Jamie Berger as a premeditated plan,
right,
knowing that the motivation is to take your children from you if you continue to have a job that's associated with me.
Yeah.
And that is so pathetic. As a man, I'm just speaking as a man, how pathetic that is. How no man in Livingston would ever be able to look at this guy without thinking, holy shit, bro, you took the kids away from their mother?
Yeah.
Like, how fucking jealous are you of Dan? That's a good woman. That's a great mom. Those are healthy kids.
You know?
Someone in Livingston needs to stand up. And
at no time did I do anything wrong. I'm sorry.
Jamie did absolutely nothing wrong. There's nothing. There's no.
Stood up to bullies.
There's no evidence.
Like, I'm sorry, you're a bully. If I talked about you, or if I did something,
and you stopped drinking alcohol. These people are all drinkers.
And they're all blind to the fact that, like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let you bully me anymore. I'm not gonna let you just like decide that what my choices are okay or not okay. Like, I'm doing nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
He did this. You should look at the camera. He did this to you when you were married to him, right?
Yeah, like that's why I said when it was not time for me to actually sign the MSA, I was so desperate to be free of it that I would have done literally anything at that point.
It sounds like you really loved him. Look, I'm going to tell everyone, mine was a complete opposite. I encouraged my wife to do painting work. I started the brand. I thought of the name and everything. I even have the national and international distribution rights for Gallery PDI. And I'll tell you something else. It wasn't until I saw that my wife was going to secret locations, inviting me to some places to look at and other places she wasn't, that I realized that my marriage is really a farce. It's fake. Like, she's not a real person. And based on the way she's acted in the last year, rather than being friends, settling our issues and thinking of what's best for the children, she has created a completely false narrative around you destroying my marriage, when in reality she and I were not functioning as a married couple. We were fighting on a daily basis. All I asked for, after being assaulted for 5 years and having so many crimes committed against me, was that she gets evaluated, has a psychiatric evaluation and anger management. I didn't ask for anything else. I did not ask for anything else. But instead, the lies purported against me just never ended, to a point where it did cause a massive, massive disruption to me. And thank God I'm back. I want to give you a lot of credit. You know, a lot of people want to discredit what Jamie does, and, you know, we make a lot of jokes of her being the Goyisha and a homewrecker. None of that's true. This is my best friend, and she's a really amazing mom. I think many people are so confused as to the reality of the pain that they will have to experience once they recognize the statement I just said is true. She's a great person. Look at the camera and say, hey, if you've ever met me, think of a time where I hurt you.
Yeah, seriously, if you've ever met me, think of a time where I ever hurt you. I would love
Literally
to have
a
a
lifetime,
conversation about it, because
a lifetime
like the
taking care of
reality
everyone,
of the situation
everyone.
is that's not true. Yeah,
Ungrateful
Like,
parents that she took care of, brothers that she took care of, stepsisters, siblings, cousins. None of them are here. None of them are showing their support for a mother who has had crimes committed against her, to have her children taken from her. And this is why I say this is the truth.
I asked for so little.
And I'll tell you something else.
So
I would
little.
do anything for my children, but Jamie won't do that. Jamie has no interest in ever communicating with her husband or ex-husband. I have interest in communicating with Mallory because I love my boys. I think that she is horrible to me, but okay.
Don't forget, my communication was never the issue. It was my job and my relationship.
How can a person
relationship
use
with
your
you?
job against you?
It was all about
How can
you.
How can a judge side with a jealous ex-husband that has no merit behind his filings? How can that even happen? Is it the same judge that I had? Oh, wait, it is. That's how it happened. We have the same judge, Judge Matos Wilson. This woman is the same woman that had everything taken from me, then said I have to go for a psychiatric evaluation, then the doctor didn't even exist or even want me, has not responded to any of my filings, has created a judgment against me for $50,000 plus another $100,000 that I owe, because she said that I owe $20,000 a month. I'm good with this. Oh, sorry. $20,000 a month. $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
My expenses aren't even close to that.
No.
But Matthew Smora, who works on behalf of my wife, wants to destroy me, you, and everything I've ever built. I don't know what her motivation is. All she's doing is hurting my kids.
She got, yeah. You're supposed to pay $20,000
$20-something thousand a month.
And
I don't even have a
I'm
house.
being dragged into court for less than $2,000 a month.
Judge Matos Wilson, I'm telling you, if it was a different judge, none of this would happen. It's one judge that refuses to move the case or do anything. So we have to obviously file litigation. And as much as I try to avoid this last litigation, trust me, this one will change everything. I tried to avoid this one like the plague, because you can't undo once I state the facts.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else. Maybe you dealt with a very weakened version of myself, but I got a job.
You
now,
did.
Microbank has its first client. I'm really excited for it. It starts on Monday. And it's a humbling thing, but it's a small business that I will do something 2x,
Awesome.
3x. You know what that is? 2x, 3x?
2 times, 3 times?
Yeah, that's it. It's a small business. I'm
Yeah,
going to double it once, then I
excited.
double it again, then I double it a third time, then the project's over. It's about a 4 to 6 months trajectory. I know it's very aggressive, but you know, the phase 1 is the first 2x. I give it 4 months, and then, you know, it should be revved up. Plus, also understand that if a business is not supposed to grow, it's not going to grow. You can't force success. That's one thing I love about applied mathematics and the world of small business, is that you can't fake it. You can pretend, you can talk, you can chat GPT as many images as you want. At the end of the day, you cannot fake success, you can't fake brilliance, and you definitely can't beat numbers.
Yeah.
And like I said, no matter how much I try to make this video content positive,
well, you should be positive. Like, you have come out of the vortex. You are not a zombie anymore. You are wide awake. It is a different Dan. It is
that
a
is
different,
true.
you know, it really is.
I feel really bad.
We
it's
were
the Dan
really
that you knew right before COVID.
Sick. It was bad.
Right
and, like,
before COVID.
And like every day.
I'm coming for you guys.
Every day.
Like, I'm getting my knife collection back. I'm getting my properties back. Laugh at me all you want. This is real estate. The reason why I selected it is because you could steal temporarily, but it'll go up in value exponentially every year. It'll beat most indexes. So when the deeds transfer back, the value's still there. It makes even the litigation far more pertinent because the value maintains. It's not like a car. All right. So we couldn't really continue filming because it got too hot.
Yeah.
Little apparatus over here. So I feel amazing, and I do want to express to everyone that I think that there's a lot of content out there that is truly really toxic and negative, and I think that I would chalk some of my content up to it, especially over the last 15 months.
Yes, I agree.
At the end of this segment, I'm just going to show you a few images of what happened after I watched the movie The Fall Guy. And the reason for that is not because I am psychotic and I want to pretend to be Ryan Gosling. Not that at all. It's just that I knew what I was going through is the equivalent, or I'm about to go through, based on my wife's actions, is the equivalent of getting shot in the chest twice, or falling from a 10-story building and breaking your back and having to recover from it, which is virtually impossible. When I was a little boy, there was a very famous weightlifter in Russia. A lot of people don't really understand that in Russia, weightlifting is a very, very prestigious and competitive event. In America, team sports and places where there is much more defined spectator rules are more popular, whereas in Russia, even though you might not see someone breaking a world record, when you have a competitive weightlifter versus another competitive weightlifter in the same weight class, it's a highly anticipated and spectated sport in Russia. The reason why I say this is because when I was a little boy, there was a legend of a man, and his name was Dikul, I believe, and I'm pretty sure. And what he was known for was not just being a master weightlifter, but he actually broke his back, allegedly.
Oh my God.
And he recovered from this back injury. And obviously, seeing Dikul was like the biggest thing. It's like Michael Jordan.
Did he break his back while weightlifting?
Well, one of the things that I'm going to do is find out what's going on, because now that we have access to really advanced search algorithm responses via artificial intelligence, I can fudge the spelling, I can look into it, and I can see where the truth is. But the most amazing part about it is in the late 80s, he went back on tour after healing and lifting weights publicly.
Wow.
And seeing him was an impossible ticket. Obviously, my mother took my brother and I to go see him, I believe on actually multiple occasions, and I saw him. He had like a goatee beard type of thing, and he wasn't very tall, and he lifted a crazy amount of weight. And the reason why I say this story is because if you're a young boy and you're told of a legend of a man, something that's mythical,
right,
and you actually go see it with your own eyes, you will believe that you could do anything. And if anyone's wondering where I get my sense of, oh my God, it's because I am one of the most accomplished human beings in the entire world. You can laugh at me all you want, but the things that I was able to accomplish in the last few years while having no cash far exceeds anything that anyone with billions of dollars was able to accomplish, and that not just in that time frame, because I do believe we are in a stagnation and a death of the advancement of sciences right now. So it's not really fair. It's like catching fish in a barrel for someone like myself, who is on the forefront of some of the most innovative and unique concepts. But even if you compare the last few years of my life to people historically, I've been able to accomplish a lot more. I just simply don't publish it. So the website, itisunfair.com. Obviously, that's a kick-ass domain. I know. I own hundreds of amazing domains. I didn't post it. I didn't, I don't have the energy to focus on these peripheral comedic things. I will get it up. But the truth is that I am forced to go back into the arena of litigation this week in order to not just express to everyone that I will be the first person in the history of the United States, and there'll be more to come after me, to file his writ centorum, and the supporting evidence will be on YouTube. In the Supreme Court, the first step of being accepted to have your argument heard is something called a writ centorum. I plan on doing this on YouTube. I understand that you might laugh at me. I might not get a court date for a few months, years, whatever it is, but I sure as shit will promise you that I will be changing the law on a federal level for parent rights, custodial rights, interference of custodial rights, the Barton Doctrine, protections for judges and corrupt politicians and corrupt judges that should be eliminated, and the legal community who is raping and pillaging our society must have significantly more oversight, not just random judicial bodies that are made up of other lawyers that are there to suppress complaints and silence people. There is no recourse if a lawyer does dirty to you.
Nothing.
They just continue doing what they want to do, and they say, hey, I was just doing my job.
Yep.
These are laws that must be changed on a federal level. I assure you, I will do it, especially the way I'm feeling now. I want to express to everyone that this is the real me. I understand that sometimes I'll get heated on YouTube. Sometimes I'll get extremely emotional, because that's the real me. I am here to speak the truth. I've always said the truth on YouTube, but I feel that if I really get down to it and say that a big part of me still loves Mal, that's the most humiliating thing. This woman hates me so much that she was willing to do anything to put me in jail, lie, hurt our children, anything, in order to incite me to do something that would make me look like a monster. And I still care for her. I still have feelings. I want to lie, and I want to say I don't, but I do. I have a lot of really good memories. These are real memories. It can drive a person crazy to realize that, oh my God, I've just given a quarter of a century of my life, every minute I have, to a person that wants to kill me. She literally has displayed to my children that I'm dead. I don't exist. I am not allowed near my children. This is someone this is not like a random girl I met at a bar, or some like rich heiress that I am like the landscaper of. This is not what it is. I made this girl. I've paid for everything. I've given her millions in jewelry that she stole, and stole all of my stuff the day before I filed a restraining order, and I still care for her. And the reason for that is because I love my boys. If it wasn't for my boys, I would easily be able to move on from this entire thing. But having two children with someone that is willing to literally do anything to kill you, have you thrown in jail, is so difficult to accept as a person. And that is why I'm speaking directly and saying I recognize why many people do not believe me, because it's not believable to look at Mallory, who will tell you something in a very sweet voice, and then you have me and Jamie, who you want to really blame, but the truth and the reality is that Mallory's lying through her teeth, and Jamie and I are speaking the truth. And that's why you hate us, is because the truth is far more difficult to accept, digest, recognize, and regurgitate back than a lie that is convenient, that suits your life.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Crystal clear. Well said. Yes. You're so
It is far more convenient for human beings to pretend that what I'm saying is a lie. Like the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. Not only should they all be fired, there should be charges that should be brought up against Myrna Drace Perez. And this woman's name is Drace, D-R-A-C-E, which is like Drake with a C.
I know the fact that there is no recourse to the fact that
No. We've been arrested so many times.
Many times and
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. These people just continue. Look, if you live in Essex County, your prosecutor's office is completely inept. They are completely inept, corrupt, and look, they're not going to do a single thing about this video because they're going to say, oh yeah, who cares? Let me tell you something, okay? If what I was saying is not true, a person should really face the ramifications of calling a prestigious law enforcement body inept, incompetent, and criminals. Wouldn't you think?
You would think.
But the reality is they are criminals. I would not even go near the building. I'll tell you why. You go there, they look at you like you're crazy. They pick up some random phone. They're like, just 1 second, we're getting someone. Yep. Nobody comes out.
No one ever comes out.
They are insane. They don't do anything.
No one ever
Unless you're
comes out.
caught with like a gun or a knife standing over someone, they will never solve a crime. These people are not competent. They're not competent just based on the fact that they allowed Jamie and I to continue being arrested.
Well, let's
all
talk
the
about,
charges have been
remember
dropped.
When a couple of summers ago in West Orange arrest, and Anthony Sedano set us up with Richard Trank.
Yeah.
And I proved it with the evidence. We proved it in court.
Yeah, prosecutor's
And I
office
kept
couldn't care less.
Asking the prosecutor's
Illegal
office
eviction.
to assist me.
They ignored the whole thing.
They kept ignoring me. Sergeant Posada said that he never got. He's like, oh,
He just made shit up.
whatever. And then
Sergeant Posada, what a
change
joke.
The sub, and then like anyone else walks in, and it's like, oh sure, whatever.
I don't know what happens with anyone else, nor do I give a shit, to tell you the truth. I know for a fact that Chief Abbott, Richard Trank, Anthony Sedano, and the rest of the clowns, including the mayor, participated in what's called an illegal eviction, and they broke the law, and it was proven in court, and Judge Sherwood suppressed the whole thing, tried to keep the evidence in his own courtroom, invented some kangaroo court. Brian Bombs broke into all of my properties.
Who breaks into a house?
He broke into the house, changed the locks illegally. That's what happens. You have to understand that when you're dealing with criminals who have routinely done this, like, look, every single conversation I have that starts positive shifts, and a lot of it is you. It is you. It's you. It's you. It's you. I'll tell you, it's me, but what I do is I speak very openly and candidly with a lot of love in my heart, and somehow, based on what you say, I somehow shift back into...
Let's get positive again. Let's do it. You know, but
I've been trying.
It's true. Like I agree with you. I think that just so much has gone on that like is ridiculous. And when you start talking about the prosecutor's office, it just like, you know, it hit a nerve, man.
Okay, let's round this up. It's Sunday. What day is what?
Today is Sunday, the 26th, July 26th, 2026.
And I think that it's important for anyone who really hates us to really understand that the time for you to have destroyed us has passed. Jamie and I were extremely ill. A lot of the times that we spent in Livingston in that house, I barely was able to get out of bed. I don't know how I was able to perform in court. I don't know how I filmed the YouTube videos that you watch. But the person you're watching right now is a completely different human being. I don't really know why people would attribute a person going from having a fever on a nightly basis to feeling really good as having some sort of a mental illness where they are either schizophrenic or what do I get called? Bipolar. I get called manic depressant. I'm going to explain to everyone right now. I have done a lot of research regarding depression and things like that. True depression in its purest form is not onset or triggered by actual events. What I went through is something called trauma-based depression. It is the same as if you lose a child. I lost 2 children. I knew what my wife was doing subconsciously based on her kidnapping my children and inventing stories, and she started acting very, very strange. She started going places. She didn't tell me where she was going. She was meeting up with random people. I didn't know she was meeting up with guys. I only found that out later. It's really humiliating what I went through. She used that humiliation against me by triggering me, knowing how upset it would make me, and she did all this and laughed at me, called me gay, really did some horrible things, and I survived. And I'm not pretending that it didn't hurt, and I'm not pretending like I'm not scarred, and I am. I for the rest of my life I'll feel anger, but I want everyone to understand that if you're going through something like this, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, I agree.
It might take a long time, and for me, it took 15 months to recover, and I still don't think I'm fully recovered until my children are in my life again. And how that happens, it doesn't matter, but it will happen. Time will pass. No matter how much you want to keep my children from me, eventually it will end, and you will all feel extremely, extremely, extremely stupid for not only what you have done, the fact that you did not listen to a word I said as I was a coherent, logical, fully sober human being. I am not a drug addict. I am not a drinker, but I have not partaken in any substances, even the ones that I am prescribed by doctors, where I have stopped taking all medication that I had to take for 4 invasive colon surgeries.
It's amazing.
And I have stopped taking any benzodiazepines like Xanax, sleeping pills, associated with a cycle of a cocktail of medication that I was under the impression that I was required to take based on the medical community's diagnosis, and the doctor would go back and forth about, is it okay, not okay.
That in itself
then some doctors would tell me to take Xanax, then others wouldn't, and others called me drug addict. I was once arrested for having 1 Xanax pill of my own.
Yeah. Your own prescription, It does feel amazing that...
But I was arrested for doing a good deed. I stopped a sexual assault.
You were doing a good deed. But that happens to you a lot. You know, you go in for a positive reason and you get roped into something. It happens to you. The focus became just on you. But you are in a better place. I'm in a better place. I agree. I think that a lot of negativity comes. I still harbor a lot of resentment, but I too am in a much better place, and my entire focus is I am not interested in anybody really from my past. I'm just interested in my children and my future, and I have really, really changed my way of thinking, and I don't have anyone to like apologize to or say anything to, or like my relationship with my kids is our relationship, and like they know I love them more than anything in the world. When they're ready, I'm here. I would do anything for them. They can send smoke signals.
One thing I want everyone to understand is the definition of alienation. When you have children who love their mom and dad, that's mom, I'm dad. For my children, that's mom for her children. When they are separated from us, I had an amazing relationship with my boys, and Jamie had an amazing relationship with her children.
Amazing.
There was some contention, but they had great communication.
Right.
What Jared and Mallory have done is they are guilty of alienation. So once our children express any resentment towards us, that is brainwashing. Guys, you can't just allow Jared and Mallory to point to the kids and say they don't even want their father. They don't want their mother. They want nothing to do with her. That's brainwashing and alienation. And every single time Mallory and Jared point to that, they're just guilty of it, and they're admitting it. They don't understand that these kids are minors. These are minors. These are minors that have been brainwashed and alienated by a community of people.
To make them believe that we don't love them,
or we're some sort of like villainous drug addicts. This is alienation 101. That's the whole point of why people go to federal prison, because state prison is not enough of an example of what happens when one parent creates the circumstances in order to not just lie to the children, justify and pass the lies along based on the circumstances that they have artificially created with money, the legal community, and bad actors.
Yeah. Well, I think
The fact that Child Protective Services has supported all of this and has paid money for all of this. And it is so disgusting that the only thing that people can point to is Dan doesn't support his kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kicked out of my home. My entire world was taken from me. I haven't been able to work a normal day. All of my business records are in my house. I don't understand. Are people fucking insane?
Right.
Are you guys insane? Even in the worst case, I have an amazing eBay account, Amazon account. I could easily liquidate and do what I did for many decades. But I can't do any of this if I don't have my stuff. This is my actual property. We're not talking about me selling marital assets.
Right.
We're talking about selling my shit.
Yeah.
It's all over. Look at the YouTube videos. All that shit. A lot of that's my shit. Everything that wasn't stolen. Or I didn't have to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 6-figure knife collection that is at the Livingston Police Department that they are ignoring. Psychotic shit. Crazy shit that you would never believe.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And the fact that this was all done by not just the mother of my children, someone I've known for 24 years, 2 jail visits. I mean, 2 jail stints.
Like, wait.
No. She went to 100 jail visits. Sometimes you just have to press go. Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening.
Oh, man. One thing I want to express to everyone is that very rarely do I go into the whole advice thing about filming content. But I do want to give myself some advice. So I think that maybe it would be good for me to just say it. One thing a lot of people who have a hard time filming, or even people who film, find themselves in is it's almost like a writer's block in reverse. And the way it works is once you discover that you have a voice and you feel comfortable talking online, so I look really fat, but I'll get to that in a second. Once you get to the point where you're like, all right, great, I have a few people listening to me, everything's great. What happens then is that you realize one very important factor, and whether or not you consciously realize it or subconsciously realize it, and that is you only have the ability to say one thing at a time. And the reason why... Wait a minute, drink? Oh, man, sweet. The reason why I say that is because over the course of a day, for example, I filmed some really interesting content earlier today. I feel that it is very much indicative of who I want to be. The expression of a man is very difficult to convey universally in a positive light and be happy about it at the same time. And the reason why I say all of this is that I find myself bursting with things that I want to say. Oftentimes being mistaken for crazy or hyperactive or ADD, or so. That's not what has happened. What happens is that I just want to be able to scream 20 different things at the same time. And what ends up happening to a lot of people, including sometimes myself, you end up saying nothing because you're overwhelmed with the decision process of what do I say, what do I not say, and it's almost like this thing that you need to put in a box and understand that this pit that's in your stomach, the overwhelming feeling, it's always going to be there. It's never going to go away.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like sometimes when you're like, what do you have to say? I have so much I want to say, especially when I'm not on camera. And then when I get on camera, I'm like, oh God, what do I want to say? Sometimes it's too much. It's too overwhelming. And sometimes I don't think it gets across.
And I think that's a big issue with what has happened in our society. And I do want to take a few minutes to reflect. It's Sunday night, and this is the best opportunity for me to truly express the long form version of everything I've been trying to say in a positive way, while at the same time there are subjects that I'm going to touch on that may be a little bit off topic. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I really want to do my best to steer away from the content regarding my children being kidnapped from me, Jamie's children being taken from her, the alienation process, the unlawful and illegal process in the legal system. I don't know, it doesn't even make any sense to me. But I do want to express to everyone that a content creator such as myself is affected far greater than an average person, because the ripple effect of what happens to that person's life gets disseminated throughout their work and throughout the thousands of people that watch this content. And I say thousands because I understand that the quantity of human beings that watch these videos on private are exponentially in the hundreds times what you see in the numbers below. And I think that I'm very comfortable with just accepting the numbers that are below. And given those numbers, one would say to themselves, how are we living in a society that is totally okay with having their children in their possession and watching me and Jamie having our children taken from us under the guise of some sort of an invented ruse of mental illness / phantom drug use that never existed and doesn't. And all of this was not only accepted as fact, we are living in some sort of a twilight zone.
Yeah.
Because in no movie have I ever seen would this ever be tolerated.
No.
In no circumstances of a universe that's painted in any Netflix documentary, law enforcement, child protective services, they are supposed to act on the behalf of the children, of the innocent people like us. But we are living in some sort of a upside down, toxic.
So toxic.
And me, as a human being who truly is feeling much better, I once again want to remind everyone that the trauma that a human being suffers when dealing with the loss of children, which is what Jamie and I had to deal with.
So it's like, it's really interesting. There's a word called ambiguous loss that I've been reading about, and it's basically like people who have to deal with loss without closure, and have to remain hopeful, because like people maybe who go off to war, or people who are separated from their family for a long time, they have this thing where like they have to like live in this world where like they have this profound loss on one hand, and yet they have to live with hope and sustain their life. And it's a very, very, very hard life to live.
And the sickest part of this whole thing is that we are living amongst sadists and complete psychopaths that care for children, are in a position of power, and are masquerading themselves as normal human beings in our society. But in reality, when given a chance to either hurt a minor by separating that minor from a parent, or mitigate the situation by doing what's in the best interest of the child, they opt to hurt the child. And I cannot stress this enough, that at no point will the circumstances ever change from what has already happened. Where we are in the present is that the people are in complete denial of it. Their mental status has continuously deteriorated. And I want to remind everyone that in no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how much lies, no matter how long you believe this will go on for, our children will grow up very quickly, and they will be able to make a choice. And that choice is very simple. They've been brainwashed by two very psychotic human beings with a massive amount of anxiety and riddled with issues that will continuously show up, which is anger, alcoholism, other types of addictions, and phone addiction, and truly a toxic,
really bad phone addiction.
And one thing I want to touch upon this is that when a child is growing up in an environment when they're raised by surrogates and a surrogate technological burst, which is really, we are raising children in the first full generation of children being raised completely based on sentient algorithms. I believe that even my two nephews who are graduating and they're late high school, things like that, they've been significantly affected by the algorithm raising them to a point where I've given up on my attempts at my relationship with my brother because
You tried.
I did. I tried, and I believe that a relationship, if you want to have a relationship, it requires two people. I can't really express to anyone that I do believe that I was right to be able to express myself on this forum, and had my brother even reached out to me to discuss anything that I'm talking about, this is my channel, this is my art. If I felt that there is some love or potential for love or something like that in that relationship, obviously I have full control over these videos. And if a person is much more concerned about the outward image that they project on people that are not named Daniel M. Reeses, well, obviously I don't want to have a relationship with Mark, my brother, because clearly other people's opinion of him mattered far more to him than my opinion of him in his eyes. And when that happens, that's not a brother. That's a critic. That's a judge. That's a little snitch. That's not somebody I want in my life, and that's not somebody I want my children around. And I think that's a big issue with what's going on, is that both our spouses are basically flaunting their parenting in front of us by continuously representing some sort of an air of falsehood, this complete lie that Jamie and I have to just disperse via this YouTube channel on a daily basis. And that's one of the reasons why we continue to film this content, is that it is so important to document that we are two very able-bodied, healthy, loving human beings who have full constitutional and legal right to these children, and it has been taken away from us illegally.
Yeah.
And we have the reason, the evidence, and everything like that. And we're not able to really express to anyone that the reality is that the content that we film is 100% real. There is no other content in this entire world that is remotely as dramatic, in a sense of what will happen. Will Dan and Jamie get their kids back? Will they recover? Will Dan get his portfolio back? And truly, if you don't give a shit, why are you watching?
Yeah. Exactly.
What?
Exactly. Why are you watching? Why are you watching? Why are you so upset? Why are you this? Like, if this has...
Why are you so happy watching us be hurt? Jamie and I are not hurt financially. We're very smart, able-bodied, and healthy human beings. We were not feeling well for a long time. And it's understandable by anyone who has love in their heart and has even one child, let alone 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's not understandable how you can possibly go on with your life by not reaching out, by not doing anything. That's the part that makes me scared to be a member of this society.
Yeah.
It is something that even when this issue is resolved, and every day that it passes without being resolved, it's only a testament to how broken of a infrastructure or Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Dan.
So this is the last segment for the night. I think that it's really, really important for anyone who chooses to watch this content to recognize that it is extremely difficult to film while going through an extremely traumatic situation.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you must recognize is Jamie and I make this look like it's a post-reaction interview. It is not.
Yeah, it's true.
We do not function normally. The pain that we are going through is indescribable. And I want everyone to know that maybe I take it on a project, maybe I won't. At the end of the day, my entire laser focus is getting my kids back and reestablishing my portfolio. Whether or not you believe me or not, I assure you I will be successful in both of them. And how much pain and suffering I have to go through is irrelevant, because I've already healed. I've gone through the most traumatic thing that someone like myself or Jamie can go through
So traumatic.
without a physical injury.
Yep.
And the truth is that the quantity of negative things that are going on in our lives are indescribable without the recognition of these main factors. Top 5 reasons why Jamie and I should be dead right now.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1. We had our children taken from us as a direct reaction to this channel.
Yeah.
This channel is the core reason for any visceral disruption to my personal life, and the ripple effect is that there are a lot of people that like this channel. There are a lot of people that really secretly watch this channel, a lot more than anyone would ever believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself, for our exes, Mallory and Jared, is so much more important than the safety, well-being, and mental health of our children. And we don't live in a society where anything like that can be addressed immediately. It should have been addressed immediately. The first video goes up, immediately someone will be like, hey, what's going on? Sad. That's reason number 1.
Okay.
Reason number 2, I stopped taking opioids, which were prescribed to me by my doctor as a direct result of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 invasive colon cancer related surgeries. That caused a massive disruption in my biochemistry.
Yes.
At the same time, I realized that if I'm going to stop one of them, I need to stop the Xanax that I was prescribed, because as you can see, I'm a lot healthier, I'm a lot calmer,
Yeah.
I'm a lot more coherent, and a lot of that is the pharmacology, or the lack thereof, that's in my system. But being on those types of medications for such a long period of time, and Jamie, she ended up not drinking. She quit drinking.
I quit drinking.
I don't know why, but she did.
Yeah.
And I was never a drinker. And how long has it been since
I
you had
also
it?
quit taking benzodiazepines.
I know, Jamie.
It's a good one for you. How long? What was the question about drinking?
How long has it been since you had a sip of alcohol?
I think it's been about 8 months. I didn't count. I just know
What,
I just quit.
8 months. What was the triggering? Do you go to AA? What do
No,
you do? Of course
no.
you don't. I mean, just,
Well, this is actually the second time I've quit, and the first time was for health reasons, and then I gradually fell back into that routine where I would have a drink if I had dinner or something, and then I just realized I didn't like it. I was putting poison in my body. Nothing good happened from drinking in the past, ever. I'm so much happier without it. I feel so much better. I know I went through the year of hell, and I got so sick a number of times, but I just genuinely feel much better and much healthier, much clearer.
and a lot of that, so our exes continue to drink and partake in substances where they are the ones that are rewarded with full. We're having some minor technical difficulties, but they're minor. They're right here.
So we did 2.
So we did 2. So 2 is the removal of both of us had 2 major substances completely removed voluntarily, and also no sleeping aids. Yeah. And I think that's a major thing as well.
Yeah. Sleeping with nothing is amazing. Just actually I'm so tired at the end of the day.
And we're able to move around. We were so lethargic. We were so sick. Even the content, a lot of the reason why you see me get so upset routinely is that even in the last 2 weeks, as I've started feeling better, I still wasn't able to drop the anger. Yeah. And this is the first video that I actually drop. I'm not only dropping the anger, this is the video that I'll show you. Look, this is the way I'm going to act for the rest of my life. I do not see myself getting erratic or getting upset any further, because I will no longer engage in business relationships or personal relationships that will cause me to ever open myself up to any pain whatsoever, because what I've gone through is inhumane. It is, and Jamie went through the same thing. It definitely makes it easier.
Yeah.
No one has any clue of what Mallory and Jared have done, because they don't want to take responsibility. And this is where a big bucket of reality comes in. Look, there's a lot that I have to say, but apparently the latest public release is that Bob Menendez's house was raided on June 16th, 15th, and 16th of 2022. It wasn't. It was 2023. And it's a really long story, and I can't get into it, but fine. Let's presuppose that we'll believe in the 2022 theory. Essentially, what that means is that Bob Menendez cast 467 votes in the Senate, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that after $500,000 in gold bars and everything was discovered, for 15 months, everything was copacetic and nothing was released. That is not possible. I know this because I met Fred Davies in 2023 in February.
You did.
And he offered a loan. There's no way. There's no way this man would be engaged in any form of giving loans out or anything. And remember, he's on a daily basis communication with Bob Menendez. Bob Menendez wasn't even near his home. Nobody even knows where he was. He wasn't in Washington, nor was he at his house. There's no images of the raid. They came back 2 days without a single neighbor knowing anything about it. It doesn't even make any sense. I'm not even going to presuppose any conspiracy theories, but I will tell you that if you are a federal agent or a New Jersey lawyer or agent that had anything to do with Bob Menendez, you were pretty much given 15 months to clean your shit up. And that's where the sad reality is, that we live in such a corrupt state, Jamie,
So corrupt.
that even criminals are
So
able
corrupt.
to have communication with law enforcement. And obviously Judge Sherwood had no idea about it, and obviously I knew about what was going on, and obviously I am the victim, and obviously I was the one that exposed it because I was yelling on YouTube for years before June 2022, and my filings and my writings all pointed to one thing and one thing only: that Fred Davies is paying off Senator Bob Menendez. Eventually there was a raid, and eventually I had to get the court order, and I was right about everything. And to sit here and have your children taken from you because you expose some of the biggest criminal corruption scandals in U.S. history. Like, for example, right now, we're in the middle of one of these. Judge Esther Salas. It's like cut to the chase, all right? This woman is guilty. There is massive amount of disgusting facts that are coming out left and right. It doesn't seem like anyone cares. Great. You guys don't care about a federal judge that invented a story about something that didn't happen or happened. Whatever. That's cool. Let's get to the fundamentals of all of this. Let's skip to this, okay? I did everything I could to prevent what is about to happen, which is a catastrophic lawsuit that I'm going to be forced to file in order to get my kids back. And it's pathetic that a victim of this many crimes that Jamie and I are victims of, I have to use my resources, my algorithm of pro-slay, and file a civil complaint over having my children kidnapped, alienated, my property taken, everything I own stolen from me under false pretenses, lies to federal court, lies to state court, lies to police, lies to prosecutors. I was arrested on half a dozen occasions. All the charges have already been dropped. I've won every single one of the cases after spending 31 days in a county jail on 4 separate arrests. Those were even different. It's insanity. And now is the time where I actually fight back. Why? This is the all is lost moment. This is the moment where it's like, all right, you know, he lost his kids, Jamie lost her kids, they have no resources, all of his money's in the house, everything is going against him. Look, pick up a book, not a random book. Like, don't just go to the kitchen and pick up a book. Pick up a book called Save the Cat. In the book Save the Cat, they very much tell you that one of the most important parts of any narrative arcs, so like, you know, obviously nobody watches movies anymore, but like any narrative arcs, there's an all is lost moment. That's where this moment is right now. All is lost. Oh no, what's he gonna do? I'm gonna explain to everyone right now. My name is Daniel M. Reeses, okay? In my spare time, I have done some of the most incredible things you can imagine. What I really work on is indescribable and will land me sometimes in a nut house if I actually explain to you the complexities of what I work on, how I'm successful at it, why I do it, and why it's much more important than any of the criticism you might want to throw at me times a billion. In retrospect, I will look back at this moment and laugh because my kids are healthy, hopefully, and everyone who is going against me is simply showing their true colors and their obsession with me. All I want is these people to stop dick riding, move on with their lives, and give me what I believe is mine. My property, my children at least 50% of the time, and at this time I want more because I haven't seen them in over a year. But the fair thing is the 50-50 split, and because my wife chooses to ignore and work with a man and other lawyers that are viscerally toxic towards the process of unification of a family, and no one is asking to be in a relationship, nobody wants to be remarried, nobody wants to be and share a bed or anything like that, but a family, we already have children. You can't avoid the fact that we are a family. How the family is, it is what it is, but Jamie didn't break anything up. My wife and her family are completely psychotic, and they have invented a series of circumstances. I've paid a lot of money to have lawyers lie on their behalf, and there's another factor where another group of lawyers is helping Mallory out because of the Bob Menendez and insanity.
Yeah, that is wild.
And I know, and it's all true.
It's wild. It's true.
And I think on that note, I want to know what
what were your numbers 4 and 5?
Oh, yeah.
You left off on 3. You did.
We did.
The kids.
We did substances. We didn't even do 3. No, Bob Menendez. No way. That's it. It's a fucking clown.
3.
All right. Let's go to 3.
Let's finish the list.
I believe that I know that I was really sick, and I believe Jamie was really sick, either with like a mono or some form of a long-form viral infection, and mine could have easily been related to stress-induced trauma that manifests itself. So, for example, I was feeling really I felt like my abscess colon cancer is coming back, and things like that, and a lot of that is the manifestation of stress. Jamie had her own physical ailments, and I think that it's very, very important for everyone to recognize that I had a fever for months at a time, and it was brutal. And I think that, and leaving all that behind and looking at myself in the mirror for the first time,
right?
I need to fix my teeth. They're way too yellow, and that's one thing. I need to lose weight and fix my teeth. Everything else is fine. My hair.
Your hair's great. Great job.
Gel is a little pasty. But, or maybe I'm just getting gray hair. I don't know. I have no idea. But the point of all this is that number 3 is that we were extremely sick.
So sick. I've never been so.
Number 2, the instability of our lives. And Jamie and I have always been humans who have had very stable lives. We are not nomads. We come from relatively decent homes. Granted, mine was a little bit interesting, but Jamie was raised in a traditional place, and she's never had these types of issues. Going through this tumultuous change and this public humiliation that we are faced with because of the inability for us to compartmentalize the fact that Jamie gave Mallory $250,000. Jamie supported a lot of things and invested in business matters that are locked within the house that I am being kicked out of. And I think that going through those circumstances and losing money under fraud and having that fraud supported is extremely traumatic. I think it's very difficult for people to understand that when you're the victim of having your money stolen by someone that's close to you, it's not the same thing as just losing it as an investment. There's a trust factor.
Major things. Like, it's like you said, it's trauma.
It's very traumatic, and what Jamie and I have been going through really is something that will cause a depression for anyone. And the number one reason is depression.
Yeah.
I think that Jamie and I were heavily depressed due to
we were heavily depressed and scrutinized, which made it worse.
And I think that the public scrutiny, the way the courts portrayed us, the way that we were vilified for no reason whatsoever, we were created into some sort of evil beings, like these ex parte orders that were filed. None of that is true. I'm sorry that I have to actually file a lawsuit to guarantee that this is resolved, but none of this is true. What you're witnessing is a complete lie that is being purported, spread, and accepted, all because it is in the best interest of the criminals to avoid responsibility, prosecution, and consequences as a direct result of their actions. So Jamie and I will have to grin and bear it for a little bit longer until we're able to get in front of a federal judge and get some fucking answers.
Facts.
That's it. And that's how this is going to end. And you guys laugh, whatever. But I don't even care if the federal judge ignores or doesn't ignore. I'll take it right to the Supreme Court. I have the resources, the knowledge, the will, and apparently the time, because every day that I'm separated from my children is a day that I get stronger and more motivated.
It's true. Over time, I've realized, like, it's almost the worst thing for everyone. Not only for us, but, like, it's worse for them because, like, the longer that I'm away, the more clear,
Jamie has a teenage daughter.
I am, and the more I'm just like, my energy was spent in the wrong place. I was just so angry about what was happening to me and so upset that no one was paying attention, and my focus is elsewhere now. My focus is just on the kids. My focus is on the kids, is making sure I'm being a good parent even when I'm not with them. I've been like keeping little journals for them and just like writing things down, because even though we're apart, it doesn't mean I'm not thinking about them, thinking about their future, thinking about memories we've had, thinking about how I would like to share a certain moment with them. So, like, just because I'm gone doesn't mean I'm not thinking about them.
No, I mean, like I said, this is a travesty. You're a great mom. I think anyone that's watching this should be disgusted with themselves because they've tolerated. Jamie's a great mom. I think I'm a pretty good dad. I love my fucking kids.
You're an awesome dad. You're an awesome dad. I've always, sang your praises. I said.
All right, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Let's move on. What else you got going on? How's life, Jamie?
Oh, well, I mean, the fact that I actually get up in the morning and I don't feel like have brittle bones and like I'm about to collapse. Bonitis, as we call it.
It's from Futurama.
Brutal.
We don't call it that.
It was brutal. Every day I'm just grateful to be alive, honestly. I never thought I'd be that person to say that, but like I am.
Yeah.
And no bullshit. Thank God I had you, because like I told you in the car for the last couple of days, I was like, if I didn't have a real friend, a real human being who cared about me and supported me, I'd be dead.
Ditto. Hey, can I tell you the truth about why I feel so good, and one of the reasons why I know that I feel really good? What I went through, and obviously you went through something similar, is so indescribably painful that I don't even give a shit who goes to prison or who doesn't. I'm just glad I'm alive, and I just want to spend the rest of my life being alive and happy. And I think that without that type of clarity, without that mental sobriety, I never would be able to truly live my life. And whether or not my children come back into my life or not, these are factors that I will fight for tooth and nail, and I will give my life to do this, and I will embrace them once they run into my arms, I hope. But I will never, ever, ever forget the pain and the trauma that I was forced to go through, all because I became one of the first actual recorded pro se litigant domestic violence male victims. And no matter how much the female judges and all of these absolutely horrible attorneys want to deny it, I'm a victim of some really fucked up, horrible things. And it took me a while to accept it, talk about it, and move on. And I'm ready to move on, and I can't really move on because that's what bullies and abusers do. They keep the victims in a state of suspense, a suspended state of, well, we want to move on with our lives. Jared and Mallory have no interest in doing anything except hurting us.
Continue.
They don't actually have an agenda. Nobody will ever date Jared Resnick. That's a fact, especially publicly. And I think that when it comes to Mallory, I hope that she does find someone. I hope that there are men that ignore what a 25-year friendship and relationship culminated into as a direct result of me having enough. And I will stand my ground on this because I think that as a father and as a leader of my boys, I cannot allow a bully, a tyrant, an abuser to ever win or feel justified that she can. Oh, I hate spindrift, but it's one of the drawbacks of being fat. You gotta like make changes and all that.
I know.
So how are you, Jamie?
Oh,
Let's
you
wrap.
know what I said?
What?
You know what I want to say? I said, even now, I was just thinking to myself, even now, I would still want Jared to be a part of the kid's life. I still wouldn't do anything about custody. I would not. I would let the kids decide whatever they want to do. They're old enough.
Yeah.
As long as I'm
I
a part
agree.
of their life, I'm not looking to control anyone. I'm not looking to instill some sort of agenda. I just want to be a mom. Like, my needs are very little.
It's well said. I mean, believe it or not, I have the same needs. Mine are a little bit more. I want my property back. I want my stuff back. I would like to make a living. I don't think anyone really understands that the primary source of income in the real world that I've had has been liquidating inventory, buying low, selling high. I do that with real estate as well. Both jobs I need my home to do. Everything else beyond my children is really secondary, but please understand that I am not some derelict. I love to work. I have the capacity and the ability to generate a lot of money. Over the last few years, I've grown into a very bad state of depression, which I'm out of. And given the circumstances of what I went through, I think it's very understandable, and I want everyone to really listen to me very carefully, that at no time should a human being who is dealing with, let's say your children have been kidnapped and are not anywhere near you, which is what happened to me and Jamie right now. No person can actually work.
Right.
Their ability to focus on a job doesn't exist. Their mind is constantly thinking about their children, and any environment that reminds them of their children will trigger that person. It is virtually impossible to find a job that you don't interact with either children or people where, oh, I'm going to take my son fishing. Boom, I want to go into the bathroom and cry.
Yep.
Honestly. You just don't understand. You just don't understand what it's like unless you go through it. And I feel that we live in the type of society that people that are like Jamie and I that go through these circumstances, they are expected to manifest in this evil, vile way where they do something, where they show up, violate a restraining order, or prove that they are the predator that they're being accused of being. And Jamie and I are just not interested in that.
No.
We're not interested in inventing circumstances that don't exist. I served paperwork, legitimate paperwork, on these asshole coaches who turn around and hurt my child. I don't have the ability to engage in that type of warfare when my children's happiness is on the line, and these people have shown that they're willing to do some of the most inhumane things. And the expectation is that I'm supposed to take out my aggression in some sort of a physical way. I want to explain something to everyone. I will do nothing to interfere with my freedom, nor do I have any intentions of hurting anyone ever. And if your weapon or modus operatus MO is to point a finger at me and state something that doesn't exist, well, you've lost.
Yeah.
You've completely lost. I promise you. You not only have lost, you could ask any person that has grown up with me that I am a non-violent human being. I do not rage out. I do not have a temper that I cannot control. I do not hurt children, women, men. I don't hurt anyone. And the circumstances around what has happened to me are so fueled by a motivated party known as my ex-wife, her ex-husband, and other people that are looking to benefit off of my destruction by taking tens of millions of dollars in real estate that I own. There is an actual reason behind all this. I am not a random schmo.
No.
I have a massive real estate portfolio that is at the heart of this, that people are fighting to get. And they believe that by destroying my morale, my spirit, my personal life, it will culminate to me giving up and simply giving the keys to everything that I own.
Yep.
There's a complete opposite of what is actually going to happen or what is happening in the background. But to really understand that, you must understand that I have received so much communication and text messages and visceral, vile communications to Jamie from Mallory and her lawyers about how the litigation that Jamie and I are engaging in is somehow predatory, frivolous, or harassing. This is coming from human beings that have taken our children.
Yeah, what do you expect us to do?
Yeah, what do you think we're gonna do? You think we're just gonna
Like, was
sit
I
in
just
the
gonna
fucking
hang
hotel
out, right?
and wait for you assholes to watch our children graduate, watch our every moment? Look, please understand that the litigation that is forthcoming is a direct result of criminal activity that has been ignored by both law enforcement, child protective services, and every single attorney, judge, prosecutor, and everyone involved. Not only that, Jamie and I have been turned into the bad guys in all of this because I am the victim of domestic violence and Jamie is a witness and stood up on my behalf. In culmination to what my job is, which is taking out bad guys.
I know. And I'm really proud of the work that you do and that I support you in. Like, honestly, I'm really proud of it. And part of the reason why it makes, I think, Jared so angry is the fact that I do support it and I do have a strong opinion about the things that we've done.
You have an opinion? How dare you, Jamie?
I know.
Who do you think you are? A woman? A human being? Do you believe it? Do you believe that there's actual mothers and women that are in support of hurting Jamie?
Yeah.
And like this horrible mother, Allison Adler. no,
Annapol. I mean, her maiden name is Adler.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So
Allison Annapol. Just a bad mom. Not in like a
nice
funny,
mom.
not in like a funny
It's like
way.
not a nice human.
I mean, that's just one example, and the reason why I use that example is because out of nowhere, this woman takes Jamie off of the text chain with all the moms,
With like this,
and then puts Jared Resnick on it, which is her ex-husband. And this is a mom who has given birth to girls.
she's just trying to like.
Wow, that's terrible, 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 terrible.
Like maybe she'll get an invite to the, Thanksgiving dinner.
That's right. Can you imagine having so much social anxiety, or what is it, FOMO? No. FOMO, fear of missing out, right? So much FOMO on a social level that you're willing to completely destroy your integrity as a woman, a mother, and someone who has known Jamie for a long time and has a child who's in communication with Jamie's child.
Yeah.
And to judge that based on an alienated child who's brainwashed and an alcoholic ex-husband who is on a warpath to do everything he humanly can to destroy his ex-wife, in turn somehow hurt me. In reality, it just shows his true colors, and it really speaks volumes as to why the decisions Jamie made to divorce this man were probably some of the best decisions she has ever made in her life. Because imagine being in a relationship where everything that is going on and it's copacetic is done by the same person that when shit hits the fan did what he did now. You know how scary that is? To be in sharing a bed with someone whose true colors are this?
Yeah, I mean, I I said this to people.
I'm not an asshole. I would never do anything
did.
like that.
I said
That's
this to
why.
people. I was like, look, I'm telling you. I said this to some of my closest friends. I said this
Who
to
abandoned Jamie.
the lawyers I tried to hire. I was like, look, this is not a good person. Something is going to happen. And no one listened to me. No one listened to me. And that's why I ended up having to defend myself and represent myself. And that's why I told you I had to just get out towards the end, because at that point, no one was listening. And now look what he did. I told you all that it was going to be bad.
You were right. I kind of like, I didn't think that a grown man that's Jewish in our community is ever capable of doing something like that. But lo and behold, I was really shocked. I was shocked by my ex-wife's actions, and we need to wrap up the woe oh me part of today, because we're going to talk about it every single day. And one of the things people need to understand is that when you're dealing with something like this and there is no other outlet, this is a very healthy, organic, and great way to systemically freeze the reality of what was going on with me and Jamie while our kids were stolen from us. And I don't think that people take the time to really reflect and document the pain that they're going through, let alone disseminate it publicly so everyone could understand that the ramifications of alienation, kidnapping, and lying to courts is so detrimental for the long term that eventually you will recognize that what you have done is inhumane, it is beyond excuse, and it is a forever stain and scar on you as human beings who think that they're going to just skate away from the responsibility of the reality that they must take accountability for their actions. And the accountability starts with recognizing that they have hurt their own children, and we have not. And I don't think that it's a competition. It's just a matter of us trying to make it stop, because it is a daily pain that is not going to be recognized until the children are older. We're older. We're the adults. The fact that there's adults that are treating these children as if they're going to stay in this state forever, and they don't recognize that they're going to grow up and there's a void. My boys need a father. No invented circumstance will ever replace that in their lives. I'm a good guy. There's bad dads that still deserve to be with their kids. They're their kids. That's the whole point. That's why it's my kids. That's what it's not somebody else's. These are my boys. And the fact that I provided a very good life for my children, and because of my wife's abuse, I wasn't able to really function, let alone work. And now that it's in the past, I can genuinely say that there was a reason. I am not some loser. Look at these videos. Look at how much I've created.
I know.
My wife hurt me beyond words, and no matter how much I try to state and express it, I am looked at as some sort of an evildoer. I do not have a chance to express myself or be recognized as a victim or a human being because of my ability to orate myself on YouTube, and it scares people to a point where they don't recognize that I am human. I know it's hard to believe, but that is the closest that I can get to recognizing or accepting what is the reason behind all this, because it's weird. It's really fucking weird. Don't you think it's weird?
It's so weird. It's weird.
It's weird. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No one has. If you were to tell this story to a person,
they'd be like, no way.
No way. / what are they gonna do? So what is she gonna do? Just look. My wife's goal is to simultaneously tell my children that I somehow left the house and abandoned them and want to not see them.
Talk about abandonment issues that were instilled unnecessarily. At
this abandonment issues, my kids will never trust a woman for the rest of their lives because of this. Look, when it comes, and then it comes down to, what is it? And then it really comes down to, at the same time in court, she's trying to take possession of everything that I own. All she does is sell my shit on eBay to sustain her own expenses. And I don't even care about any of this. I just want my kids back. I don't even care. Mazel tov. Good luck. All the best. Sei gesund. I will do anything to just get my kids back. And the fact that there is some sort of a ransom requirement or some sort of a standard that I have to meet or whatever it is in my ex-wife's head.
No, it's a ransom from the court.
It is insanity. It is
It's a
so
full-blown ransom. It's literally
it's a ransom. If I don't pay money, I can't see my kids. I didn't do anything.
No.
I was beaten by my wife. I'm a victim of domestic violence. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah. It's a ransom. I said that from the beginning. I said
It's a
my kids are
shakedown.
being
It's a
held up
ransom.
ransom by the New Jersey Essex vicinage, and they dangle it in front of my face in every court hearing. It is so traumatizing. It is beyond emotionally disturbing. The fact that they
this is
puff
Jamie
their
and my
chests
children.
out
Yeah,
at me,
yeah. Insult you.
Oh, and point their finger down
It's
at me.
it's on you. The keys are in yours. If
you have the keys to the castle.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Are you that's why I always said I felt like Jared was the father in Footloose. He was like the mean reverend who wouldn't let any
Dude, when your wife
just,
says on YouTube you're the mean reverend.
He's just it's just mean. It just doesn't make sense. It's the court is
you know how
lost its
butthurt
mind.
this guy is.
The court has lost its mind.
Yeah, the court has no justification. That's the craziest
people
part.
Lost their minds.
Yeah, Mallory and Jared
lost their
are
mind about these videos.
losers. I don't even care.
Craziness. It's the amount of videos I sat and watched, and I'm just like, okay, this is literally just someone's lived video diary. There's no actual
Jamie won. She beat the shit out of Jamie Hoxley Solano, and she will fuck up anyone in court.
There's
My boy Jamie's a fucking rock star.
Yeah, talk about making me go into it deep.
And Mallory didn't spend anything on legal fees. This woman, Jamie Hoxley Solano, she's married to Ricardo Solano Jr., and this guy is the former prosecutor. And for 15 months, I guess, after the court, after obviously he knew that Bob Menendez, his boy, had the gold bars taken, he then ended up doing nothing about it and representing Gold Bar Bob, knowing full well that he was guilty. The whole thing is really disgusting. It really is very easy to follow, but at the same time, if you're a human being that's interested in some sort of a negative narrative about the destruction of my family, my real estate, why would you have any interest in recognizing that you're a patsy who's flushing taxpayer dollars down the toilet to these horrible bad actors that are willing to destroy children in order to attempt to silence two good people right here?
Yeah. The ironic thing is, imagine how quiet we'd be if we had our kids back. We'd be so busy hanging out with our kids. We wouldn't have time for all this nonsense.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's the whole point. And that's, on that note, I wish everyone the best of luck. And I hope everyone enjoys themselves. And if you are served with a lawsuit this week, please don't blame us, because we did everything we could. We tried to express ourselves. We did everything we humanly could. But when you're dealing with our children, we just don't negotiate with terrorists. Plain and simple.